Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Did you enjoy the concert yesterday?
Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing, good. I'm happy that you're having a great time. So today, as our last day, we will have a presentation from Beata Milecka, Jakubowska, Katerina Pels, and they are connecting from Poland, and they're going to talk about connected learning. They will share their project research results with us. And then we will have fun educational fun from Vitek Tesaris. Did I pronounce right?
Close.
Close. Yeah, it's my relationship with the Czech language. I'm trying. And then we will have another colleague, Michal Kaderka, the private sector teaches the state to teach. So we will have 2 workshops after 1 online presentation. And we are having an art workshop going on in room 208. If you want to join, we will be drinking Turkish coffee and using that Turkish coffee material as the art workshop material. So you can enjoy. And I think we are ready with our streaming online. Okay, we can start. Trying to show you our audience. Okay.
Ještě jak zapnete tu kameru. Zapni tu kameru, když tak. V Teamsech. Proč to pořád odpojuje?
To je pěkný.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Yes, we are ready. We can start. Thank you.
Okay, hello, I will show the presentation and then we will start. Can you see the presentation? No. But the problem is that when I show the presentation, I cannot mute and unmute myself. No. That's the problem. Yeah, can you see the presentation on the screen?
Yes, but you are just showing it as a presentation.
Okay. Okay, now?
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Okay, shall we begin?
yeah, sure.
Yes, please.
Okay, so for having us today, we want to introduce ourselves first. My name is Beata Milecka. I'm a third couple kid that's turned third future adult. And I have been in education for nearly 4 decades, teaching English at international schools. And recently I have been working on several educational projects using IT tools and connected learning that we are presenting to you today is one of them. Let us turn the slide. Can we move the slide, Kasia? Okay, so the Connected Learning Project was, or is, because it is still going on, is funded by Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway grants. You will hear about it in a moment, a little bit more. Kasia, can you turn the slides next? Okay, so that was me. And Kasia is going to present herself, so I will mute because there are two of us. Kasia, you have to unmute.
Okay, so again, I will have to, it will be slightly complicated, but okay. So as I said, thank you very much for having us today. And my name is Katarzyna Pelc, and I've been an English teacher for more than 2 decades now. My main work is in a Polish state school. And apart from teaching teenagers, I also train teachers, and my recent interests are connected with competence development, competence recognition, formative assessment, and many more. So yeah, and also I participate in many international projects, and also this one, and I consider this one especially innovative. So I'm really happy to be here to share it with you. Beata?
So let me first tell you about the inspiration that we had for the project, that there are 15 of us who are involved in this project, but this is my original educational endeavor that I started about 6 years ago. It was called Connect to Learn. And what I wanted to do was to enable my IB English B students to learn English with other students from other parts of the world. One of the things that happens around the world is that students are sitting in a classroom, for example, in a Czech classroom, or in a Chinese classroom, or in a Georgian classroom, or a Polish classroom, and they're learning English, even at the IB English B, for example, level, but they're all the same nationality. And that is usually a bit of a problem because their language that they're practicing isn't completely authentic, okay? So what I wanted to do was create this online thematic unit, or many units in fact, which connected the IB English B classes from different countries, okay? Another thing that I noticed was that many teachers are often reluctant to participate in such connections because all of them say, well, I don't have enough time, I have a curriculum to cover, this is something that isn't going to be possible because I can't stop the curriculum and join a project, okay? Which is totally understandable. And this is precisely why these units were based on the prescribed IB English B curriculum. So the QR code takes you to that original website, and you can peruse it later through the link or the QR code, okay? But for now, the most important point is to emphasize that this idea of curriculum-based connected learning is the crucial element, in fact, in our current project that you will learn about today. There is a little film that Kasia will play for you on the slide. It just shows a little bit how I designed the website. It is now defunct, really, but it was thriving for several years, and it worked very. Kasia, are you able to press the film that is there? Okay, thank you. It's just a few seconds. So The website was aiming to practice all four skills, reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And the original students were from Jakarta International Student School in Jakarta, with students from different countries. In one of the last iterations, it was actually Kasha's class that joined the collaboration as well. So this was one of the reasons that we were able to get together and begin work on another project. Okay, Kasha, next.
Okay. I need some time to unmute myself, that's why it takes a couple of seconds, but I'm with you. All right, so what is connected learning in this version, in this iteration? I would say that it's a educational framework that leverages the digital technologies and connected environment to provide our students with very rich and truly teaching environment, truly learning environment actually. And the project is based on a lot of scientific ground, I would say, in both in education, but also sociology, psychology, and technology. And that will be explained in a moment by Beata. In the meantime, I would like you to focus on the intellectual outputs of this project. So we used a little bit of color coding here. The bright green ones are the tools that are already there, that can be used by you already. So the first one is called Hybrid Teaching Strength Finder, which is like a self-assessment tool for schools and teachers to kind of measure how ready they are for remote teaching. And it's not so much about getting scared or anything. It's just about finding these areas that we can help you to develop and join our project with confidence. The second one is Hybrid Teach, which is like a very valuable, I think, course for teachers on techniques used in the project and also on the pedagogy and so on. The video guide, which is called From Teaching to Learning, The Change in Our Eyes, is something that is actually is being constructed at the moment and will be available next year. And at the very center, the very heart of the project, are the 2-week learning modules, which enable the connection of high students from all over the world in a highly motivating digital environment. And of course, we are going to explain them in more details in a moment. Okay, so now after Beata, I will just unmute myself again.
So the connected learning, which, as you heard, is that framework that connects students together and allows them to work together and learn together, is based on several theories. The social learning theory, which is rooted in the social learning. In today's world, I think we are, it's very important for us to allow the students to develop their ability to interact socially and, of course, collaborate in that learning process, especially since the workplaces nowadays are so based on teamwork. The constructionist learning, the modules of connected learning allow these learners to actively construct knowledge through hands-on and experiential activities. The cultural historical activity theory, by connecting students from different cultural and social contexts, connected learning enhances this understanding of global issues and diversity. The project and the connected learning also promotes enhanced participation. Our learners actively contribute, they create, they engage within this learning community that becomes part of their learning in the classroom itself. And it also allows the students to begin the global networking that we all know is very important in the global village that we have become. Many of the students who have already participated have actually become friends across borders because of the work that they were doing together. And as far as digital literacy, connected learning emphasizes the development of digital literacy through the collaboration on the modules, because students develop skills, information skills, media literacy, and of course, digital communication skills. Kasia?
Okay, I'm with you again. All right. Now I will show you the website of the project. So our project involves partners. Among these partners, we have two schools. One of the schools is, of course, the school where I work. There's a private school with IB curriculum from Katowice in Poland. There is the Icelandic school, a very modern, technology, using a lot of technology, and also two partner institutions. In this section, you will find what we have done so far, more or less. Here you can see, some information about our online meetings, which take place regularly. We started them last year, I think in February, as far as I remember, yes. And this is a short video relation of our meeting in Iceland for the first time. We have met in Iceland twice. We have just come back, by the way, from the second meeting in there. This is a short reminder of our visit in Katowice. And next month we are meeting in Kielce as well. Okay, now information about the intellectual outputs. So here you will find more or less what I have talked about a little bit earlier. So the strength analyzer, the Teach Hybrid course, and the information about our modules. Okay, you can move on to the next one now. Right. Okay, so I will just make a short pause. So now we are getting to the core, right, the heart of our project. That is that are the modules, right? So I will play the film and I will try to talk along about it. All right. So on the left, you can see the names, the titles of the modules. So far, there are 6 uploaded, more or less. 2 of them have been tested twice. We are going to test the next 4 this coming October. So if you would like to join us, you will have this opportunity. We will tell you later something about it. Okay, and again, there's the information which is quite important that this project is financed by the Icelandic Liechtenstein and Norway grants. Okay, so now let's go to the module called Food. The format, I will make it pause for a while. The format that you can see here is it is used and it will be used in all of the modules. So it starts with some practical information, especially I think for the teachers. So at the top you can see which items of vocabulary, which lexical resources are going to be taught or expanded in this module. You will find the language level, which is specified. Okay, I won't let it go. Right, and here you can see that there are 8 lessons. Actually, there are 8 lessons in every module, and there's also an IB extension in each of the module if you need it, and also a short summary of all the skills and competences that are developed thanks to a given module together with the reflection part. Okay. think. All right. Okay, so now off to the first two lessons, which were called the magic ingredient. And again, you can see what the specific aims and objective of the modules were, then the exact procedure. So I will tell you something more about it, because actually I was one of the teachers that was testing this module with my students. So in these two lessons, students had to choose one culture-specific product that is used in traditional cuisine, traditional dishes. They had to do some research on it. If they needed any help, just in case, teachers provided some guiding questions, which you can see like here below. Okay, I made the film for you, so that, you know, if they wanted, if the students needed some guidance, some help, they could just use these questions. And then after doing the research, the students were asked to make from 2 to 5 minutes video about this ingredient, and then they uploaded it to the Flip platform. Okay. Right. And again, a short summary of all the skills and competencies that are developed in these modules, divided into communication, collaboration, also the metacognition part, which we also do with our students at the end of each lesson, because we believe that metacognition and developing these skills is really important in learning. Okay, as far as I remember, in this film, there is like a, the film skips lessons 3, 4, and 5, so I will make a pause and just tell you what happened later. So after the students uploaded the presentations, they were asked to pick 3 done by different students, and they were asked to provide some sort of feedback on the videos. And again, we prompted them a little bit with some help that they needed. They were instructed on the language that they could use while giving these opinions. They could comment on the content of the movie, of the film. They could comment on the quality or whatever thoughts they had in connection with the videos, using appropriate language, of course. In lessons 4 and 5, they read a text about some future foods, like really crazy original types of foods. And they had to think which of these foods could be adapted to their markets, right, to the markets of their countries. Then they exchanged those ideas using, I think, Padlet. And then they had to pick a student who has similar opinion to them, and together they were asked to write a letter, a formal letter to a company in their country, asking the company to introduce this food that they think was great. And I have to tell you that I had a great pleasure observing my students doing this exercise, because they were so excited about it. It was really interesting to see how they went out of their comfort zone, and even some of them even got replies, which made this task really authentic. So you could see the motivation and all the emotions that arose as a result of this exercise. Yeah. Okay, right, and this is, yes, and what I have talked about now is actually shown in this film. So this is the bit about the steps that they had to do while writing the letter. There were also some success criteria for the letter provided. Yes, yeah, okay, I forgot about this, sorry. Okay, let's wait for a while. And again, a short summary of the competencies that were developed, learned by the students, and a bigger reflection and evaluation part, which can be found at the end of each of the modules for both students and teachers also. Okay. Right. On the side, we'll also find a very important section, I think, which is called Tech Tools. And here's like a selection, a list of the tools that are used in our modules. with a short explanation, but also a tutorial if anyone needs to, revise or learn how to use a certain technology here, a certain IT tool. Well, we use them on our in our everyday practice. Also, our Icelandic partners who are very experienced in using technologies recommended some of those tools to us. So yeah, really tested and useful. Right, then resources for students. I made a mention of this before, right? If in any case students are not sure how to behave in the online environment, they don't know what kind of language should be used and so on, you will find, they will find some help in this section. Okay. Okay, so I think I will give voice to Beata now, and she will tell you how you can join, for example, the testing that is coming in October.
All right, thank you, Kasia. So the trailer that you just saw is actually available on the website, Connected Learning website, and also the whole webinar that Kasia mentioned earlier, that has also been already completed, and it is available for your use. Okay. So here, what we would like to do is to invite you to connect with us on the Facebook group. The group is called Connected Learning, and the QR code takes you there. I think that it is possible for us to share the presentation with you later on, so you will be able to get to the links and the QR code if you're not able to get to it right now. The Facebook group is actually a crucial element of the whole project because that is where we post information about connecting teachers and their students for the collaboration. Okay, so this is an excellent opportunity to network with teachers of English. Most of the people who are on the group right now, there's 150 people right now. Most of them are high school English teachers from around the world. Some of them are middle school teachers, some of them are administrators who are just looking in and checking what we are doing and posting very positive reviews. So it's an excellent opportunity for you to network with teachers of English, especially those who love learning, who love innovation, and who love progress in pedagogy, okay? We would also like to invite you to the next collaborative learning opportunity for your students, and of course for yourselves, to connect and learn together. It's going to happen starting in October. And it would be best if you or your English teacher colleagues, you can pass this information on to others. If you signed into the Facebook group to basically familiarize yourselves with the materials and the proceedings and how to set up the multicultural groups of students to collaborate on the tasks. At the moment, we have 6 thematic units. The modules, each one has 8 lessons, more or less 45 minutes of work for each lesson. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be synchronizing your work together with somebody across the world. A lot of the work is actually asynchronous, so it is possible to just do it during your classroom time and a little bit of outside of the classroom time for the students if they actually want to connect synchronously with the students who are, for example, in Thailand or in Georgia or in Indonesia or in Guatemala. I think we have people from Guatemala. We also have teachers from Uganda. So that is actually a very interesting collaboration that awaits you and your students, okay? So far during the testing phases of the first 2 units, we completed them in March and May. We had collaboration among students from Poland and of course Iceland, because those are the 2 countries that are working on the project. But we connected the students from Jakarta Intercultural School, my former school, and there were students from Japan, Korea, and Indonesia as well. So, like I said, on the Facebook group, we already have teachers from Uganda, from Kenya, from Indonesia, from Guatemala, from Turkey, and they are waiting to connect with European schools and provide this extra intercultural atmosphere to the collaboration and the learning that the students do on the thematic units. And like I said earlier, sometimes teachers say, well, I don't have time, I have a curriculum to cover. The curricular activities and the thematic units actually fit just about any class course that is in the core curriculum for English. So this opportunity to collaborate can also serve as a wonderful and also free professional development opportunity for the teachers, as the Facebook group and the module site include a lot of practical tips for teachers to use in their classes, so you'll be able to help students practice a variety of skills and competencies. Even after the collaboration is completed, you have access to those modules once you have contacted us through the Facebook group. Okay?
Can I add something? Because sounds like an idea. Okay, so what
You have been disconnected.
Oh. Can I
don't know. I don't know if we're still on.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, something to. I just wanted to add something to what Bella has just said. As I said, I work in a Polish state school, and I actually use those modules quite often, and I plan to supplement the course book that I use in class with these modules, because I think this is an excellent way to practice. Yeah, it's the stuff that you get from the course book. And I can tell you that the motivation of my students is like really, really huge. They cannot wait for the reactions of the students from different countries. So and it's there. Everything is ready for you to use, right? So you have to just familiarize yourself with the pedagogy, with the tools, but everything is there. It would be such a waste if you didn't use it, really. So I do recommend. I do recommend. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have time for questions? Does anyone have any questions from the audience?
Seconds.
There are some questions.
Good morning, thank you very much for your presentation. Forgive me, I was slightly late arriving, so you may have covered this already, but I'm interested to know something technical really. What platform are you collaborating on between, do you have a separate, for communicating between teachers and students? Are you using, is it all through the website, or are you using Teams or something different, sort of behind the scenes communication? And also, a related question, your website looks incredibly useful resource, and I can't believe it's sort of been done voluntarily by somebody in their spare time. How have you manage that? Do you have a dedicated team or one person who works 24/7? Could you just give us a bit of insight into that? Because these sort of projects are fantastic, but there are all sorts of things that need working out before it will work as smoothly as it looks like it is. Thank you.
Kasia, do you want to answer that second question first?
I'm not sure if I heard it, but what was the second part?
So I will do it. So I'll start with the second question, because the second question is about the dedication and the work that goes into creating such a project. This is something that, like I said earlier, and perhaps you missed it. One of my first endeavors about 6 years ago was the Connect to Learn website, which was for the IB students. So the inspiration came from the need that I saw in my, not only in my classes, because in fact my classes were multilingual, multicultural, because it was an international school. But as I returned to Poland and talked to other teachers, they were saying that their classes were monolingual. And so students, when they were practicing, even in role play, it was just the same students over and over and over. So the need for connecting with other students was really very big, and that was the reason that I started that. But then, of course, that curricular element was a very important one to connect together, so that the students would be also covering the curriculum at the same time, and performing the tasks that at the same time were required by the IB English curriculum. So that concept was then proposed to the grants that we applied for 2 years ago, and we were able to get the grants and put together a 15-person team in order to create these modules. So it's I guess I may be the inspirational leader of things, and the dreamer that actually gets everybody excited wanting to work on this. Just on the side, I have also dreamed about teaching in the metaverse in a game. And 5 years ago, I was still dreaming. And this year, I actually made the dream come true. And during our Icelandic meeting last week, we entered the metaverse and we taught a little bit of a class in the metaverse, and it was a very exciting moment. So innovation is something that I do a lot of, and always try to figure out how I can make learning more interesting, more interactive, and more collaborative than it already is. Coming back to your original question.
I want to say something. Okay, I wanted to add to what Barbara has just said. I can tell you why I decided to go into this collaboration first during the Connect to Learn project and now during the Connected Learning. As I said, I teach in a state school in Poland, and I think that the biggest challenge in the Polish education system is that we are very traditional in the sense that still the teacher is like the source of the information. So there is a huge need to change the pedagogy, to kind of turn things around, to center more on the learner. So when I saw on Beata's website this opportunity to join into this project, and actually it was during the pandemic, I didn't hesitate, and my classes suddenly started to be very, very engaging, right? So for me, it's like this embodiment, this project is the embodiment of the new type of pedagogy that has to enter all schools sooner or later. And I'm great enthusiast of this project myself. Okay, but I will mute myself now.
So to answer your first question, and that was about the technology and the platforms that we are using. We were very conscious of the fact that it is, although it is aimed at European schools, the grant is for the European schools, there were many teachers who were very enthusiastic from other countries, and they don't have access to the various platforms that are available that are paid, and therefore we decided to use the simplest, easiest way of communicating, and that is we put all of our modules on a Google site. So the module work for the teacher, the instructions, the apps that we're using, most of them, if not all of them, have free versions, so that students, because it's the students who are using the various apps that are mentioned in the project and that are supposed to be used in the project, we always try to give an alternative so that in case if they don't have access to a particular app, they can use a different one. So in the actual work is asynchronous, based on the Google sites, Google tools basically, so Google Slides or Google Docs that they collaborate on. The teachers collaborate on Google spreadsheets to make the teams, the multinational teams, and students can get together synchronously if they want to, but that is their prerogative. They can, for example, say, okay, I really want to meet this student from Uganda. We are working on something. We need to rather talk rather than type on a Google Doc. How can we get together? They are the ones that figure it out. So it's problem solving as well. They can be asking each other, do you have Teams? No, I don't have Teams. Okay. Do you use Zoom? No, my Wi-Fi isn't, strong enough for Zoom. Okay. What else can we use? So it's a problem-solving issue for them as well, and learning to figure out the time zones, the ways that they can communicate together synchronously. There are asynchronous activities that are connected with Flip. So the app used to be called Flipgrid. I loved it. I was one of the pioneer teachers using it. That's something that is there. Also, we have Edpuzzle that is used, and students can also make their own Edpuzzles. So there's a lot of technology that is being used in the modules. Does that answer your question? Sorry, it was a very long answer.
Well, yes, I've just got a quick follow-up one, but I can come back to it if there's other people who can.
Yeah, besides, I'm not sure if we have time for more questions because we still are supposed to have one more presentation.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So I'm afraid we have no time for further questions because we have a program that follows this. So I would like to thank you for your amazing presentation, and I'm glad you could join us today.
Thank you very much. Please join us on Facebook.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So right now we will have a workshop, presentation, fun education or educational fun. And from Vitek Pekhanets. I got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so my name is Vít Pechanec. I come from Svitavy, and my presentation will be about the fun games and what we do for last 10 years about. So I'll make this presentation quicker than I'm supposed to. So let's go for that. There are some principles of the man called Jan Comenius, and those principles we are using in our project called GeoFun. Jan Comenius said that all we learn in the school should be practical for the life. The education should be for all the people, regardless on their social status. And he supposed 3 levels of education: kindergarten, lower schools, and higher schools. The fourth principle is about the Pensophy, which is describes the world, connecting all the scientific fields to one field. And the last one is interactive and visual learning, which is the topic for us, what we do. If you want to know more about this man, you can find out his statue on the stairs in this building, by the way. You can scan this QR code, and there's a game about Comenius as an optimistic man. What's GeoFun? It's the project that started about 10 years ago, and mainly it's a mobile and web application for iOS and Android. And we try to use the unique stories to teach, to learn new things, but everything is in one story. There are 2 different kinds of games we do. There are geo-based, which can be played in the cities, in the nature, and you cannot play anywhere else. And also e-learning smart games, you can play them anywhere you want. We call them couch games. All the games are for free, as well as the app. So that's fulfilling the Comenius that he wanted to have education for all. That's all. And also, it's a community about this app. Let's talk about the couch games first. They are mainly in the Czech language, so it will be fast to describe what we have. So there's some word of knowledge, there are some biblical stories, also some games for the kindergarten first level the elementary schools, about the ecosystem forest, the water ecosystem, about the farm, physics, lighting, electrician, music, also handyman, or how to build the house. And we would like to change the view to the child's rooms, because it sometimes looks like this, and we'd like to change it to this. So we don't take away the mobile phones from the hands of the children. They can keep it, but they go outside and they move and also learn. So that's what we try to do. And how GeoFun works? So those geo-based games works offline. So you download the app, then you download the game you want to play, and then you don't need the internet connection. It's using GPS, so the application sees where you are and tell you where to go. And when you go to the next point, it reacts and the story continues. Every game has a guide, which will guide you on the trail. It's prepared in the game. Story we've talked about, and there are tasks. So sometimes you have to take a picture, sometimes you have to shoot a video, sometimes you have to think about something and make a story which connects to the story of the game. And we are using also an augmented reality, which makes the games more attractive. When you are good at those games and you do the task, you get the geomes. So it's like something like our currency. And there are some contests that when you get more geomes, you are more successful in the contest. And there are the map where we have GeoGames right now. Mainly it's in the Czech Republic, but there are more and more games on Slovakia, some games in Germany, also in Poland. And we will be glad if these games will be widespread all over the world. There are some examples of the games we have right now. So this one is it's a military topic. It's in Prague, Štěrboholy, and the classes can go over there and learn about the battle which took place in 1757. That's how it looked when 51 children and 4 teachers went to Kunratice and played this game. And this is an example of the augmented reality we use in this game, so the kids can take a picture like this one. Augmented reality is a very strong thing about our games. So, for example, when you come to Divčíhrad Castle, and you can see how it looked before. So that's what we use to show how the buildings looked like before, etc. And I'll show you also another use of the augmented reality we use. So there's a picture on the church with Jesus, and you will see later, just a moment. And you point the mobile phone on the head of Jesus, and he talks. You will see right now. So this is, he says, one of you will betray me, which is from Bible. So there are some. This makes the games much more attractive. Okay. And for the children, is the best not just to be passive in the games, but they can also realize their own games. So this is the example of the game in Choceni, where they prepared the trail for the game, prepared the content for the game, and made a very, very good game around their school. So it was, we were very happy about that. And also we have some games that using the videos. So I'll show you the trailer for one of our games.
In Germany, 1938, the Munich Treaty was signed. Nazi Germany seized the Sudetenland, a part of Czechoslovakia with predominantly German population. This was not enough for Hitler. 5 months later, Nazi Germany invaded Czechoslovakia and made it a part of the Third Reich. On September the 1st, 1939, Hitler invaded Poland, starting World War II. The Nazis were unstoppable. By the end of 1941, Hitler controlled almost all of continental Europe. Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, was bombarding London, and German armies were approaching Moscow. In September 1941, Hitler sent SS General Reinhard Heydrich to Prague to establish order and crush any forms of resistance. Heydrich was the chief of Nazi criminal police, the right-hand man of Heinrich Himmler, and the architect of the Holocaust. Hitler called him a man with an iron heart. Terror and darkness descended over the country. Heydrich soon gained the nicknames the Butcher, the Blonde Beast, or the Hangman of Prague. After the occupation of Czechoslovakia, many people refused to surrender and found refuge in Great Britain, where the Czechoslovak government in exile was established. Working with the British Special Operations Executive, a secret intelligence service formed by Winston Churchill, the Czechoslovak government in exile prepared Operation Anthropoid. The aim of Operation Anthropoid was to assassinate Reinhard Heydrich and show the Nazis that they were not untouchable. It was a suicidal mission, but 2 brave soldiers volunteered, ready to put their lives at stake. On December the 28th, 1941, special agents were parachuted into occupied Czechoslovakia and landed near the village of Nervizdy. In the early morning of May 27, 1942, Heydrich's open-topped Mercedes drove into the tight curve in Prague's Kobylisy district. Czechoslovak agents were already waiting for him. As the car slowed down, Joseph Gabji.
So this is the trailer for for the game, which starts in Hvězdy, and there are 2 men, Gabčík and Kubiš, and when you start this game, you choose what you want, if you want to be Gabčík or Kubiš. And then the story of the game continues this, according to the man you decide for. So that's the way how the children can learn about the Operation Anthropoid, which was during the Second War. Also, we have like a game about foundation of the Czechoslovak Republic. So you become the scout and you work as a postman, and you get the signatures from the people that need to sign the first Czechoslovakian law. Another example of how the game can be made. Also, we have some detective games. Game also in the mine, which is mainly about fun, but also you get to know about mining industry and etc. Another example are the games for with the topic of nature protection. So you visit different nature protection areas, and you get to know why they are protected, what is protected, what you can do there, etc. Also, we have many games about the forestry, so you get to know about the forest, what's the life cycle of the forest, etc. also the games in the zoos, where you see the animals and you have the story, how they were born, etc. Game in botanical garden, and the last game we've made was made for this conference, which is called Menus to a Castle. The game starts right in front of this house, leads to the castle, Prague Castle, and this is example how we used the artificial intelligence. We don't have too much time to talk about it right now, but it's very interesting to think about what artificial intelligence, what will be their meaning in the future, not only for us, but in education at all. So that's about it. So thanks for being here with me and listening, and probably there are no time for questions.
Thank you very much for the presentation. There is one question actually.
I think we might have a minute or so before
Yes.
Gabriel is here.
We have a mic.
Yep, give me just a second. Sorry, is that your question?
There was a question. No.
Thank you very much, Peter. You are from Slovakia, right? I'm from the Czech Republic. I live about 2 hours east from here. I see. From Sweden.
I think it's very important and there is value in using some games, especially in the early years of education. I saw some video games that are mostly related to boys, and when you look at the gamers, actually predominantly it is boys, most of them. And I don't know how they are attracted, why they are attracted, but even if you enter the game stores, you will see maybe 95% of shoppers are boys. And the heroes in your examples were also men. How would you like to diversify this and include also girls? Because it looks like they are a little bit excluded. So this is what I see from your.
We don't care about the gender. Everybody can play it, and there are some games that also the guide is the girl or woman. It doesn't matter. We have them. Probably, if we take a look to the statistics, probably the more guides are men. That's probably right. But we have also the games with where the girls or women are the guides. So.
Yeah, for example, those two soldiers are masculine men, and I don't think yours are men. Yeah, yours also should be involved in this process. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think girls like stories. So, and this is also very exciting for them, and they look in a different way on like issues like the anthropoid action. Yeah. So this is also kind of a way how we can think about that. Maybe. Well.
Just a quick comment. I'm no historian, but I know there were some very, very brave women in the history of your country. So maybe there could be a story about one of them which may be more attractive to girls.
Yeah. Actually, our system is open, so if there are some teachers or anybody else who wants to make a game, and there will be a main role of the woman, no problem with that. We will be glad if some teachers will start cooperate with us and make the games they want. We don't care about the men and women. We don't care about.
I have a beer with you later.
I think this is actually really interesting to discuss. Thank you very much. But we have to.
I have one answer maybe for this question. I'm from high school and from the school who prepared the policeman, the army, and etc. etc. I have around 350 students in 4 classes, and the gamers are most girls than the boys. We have opposite. We have most girls than the men.
Thank you very much. I think we will discuss this then later with coffee in the hand. Thank you very much. We would like to apologize that we had to put the presentations together, but we have one more less, and we would like to ask you for our last 15 minutes today, that just to have the presentation. How can we, as the teachers' educational system, learn from the private sector? So I would like to invite you for the last presentation today, and then we will have the official closure. And also the colleagues upstairs in the art workshop, they need 10 minutes, as I heard, because they want to finish the artwork, and then they will come and join us.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation of me, because this is my alma mater. I studied here. I love this faculty and I love this university. I'm actually here at home, but I don't teach here. I teach at the gymnasium, which is actually kind of high school. I teach students since 15 till 19 years old, and I teach at the Faculty of Arts, prospective teachers, how to learn media education. So I have to say that media education is a very old-fashioned term for the informative education. Firstly, I have to say firstly, I have to say that I really believe in some direction that somebody at the Faculty of Education says to the teachers, you have to do this one. It doesn't work in Czech Republic, because the Czech teachers have like high scale of the autonomy, and they can decide what they want to do in the lesson. So I believe in the supporting of the teachers from the bottom. It means that I try to always create some community. And next thing, I am not full-time teacher. I'm actually a freelancer, and I cooperate with the technological companies, and I am focusing on the building teachers' communities. Now it means how they share, I try to make some processing, whatever. And I was hired by Seznam.cz. Seznam.cz, this is first main search engine in Czech Republic, and Czech Republic is really specific because Google is not dominant in here, and we have actually own a nation company which is still really strong on the Czech internet market. And if we focus on the media education, we try to figure out what's going on, because the results of the old test of the media literacy is really low for the teachers and the students. But we have money. All schools can apply for the money for the training the teachers. We have autonomy. We have so many NGOs here, and very good NGOs, which developed so many materials. It still doesn't work. We can ask why. Because we have so many internal barriers why teachers are not actually implementing media education to their lessons. So I was asked actually to develop another project, how to develop the skills. Yes. Yes, like that. What we started in 2019. It was actually a year before the COVID, and everything changed because we made some preparation, and then we changed all perspectives, and we started to make webinars. It was in 2012. in 2020. So you can see some numbers. Actually, in these years, we had almost in 6 months, almost 2,000 subscribers. It means that I each week introduce some lesson how to implement some topic to the education. It's not just theoretical. I always create some materials. I like to record some videos for them, and then after that, teachers can do something in their class. Next core activities is that we started last year to make Festival of the Media Education. It means that you have on one place all the actors of the media education, and you can actually find out what they do in their class. It's not theoretical. It's actually improvising. It's imitating, not improvising, imitating your lesson, and you pass all your experience to the others. And last thing was Academy of the Media Education, because we found out that, for example, here at the faculty, if you ask here how they develop media education, I cannot say that nothing is doing. They don't. I cannot say that they do nothing. But all these teachers who are teaching here media education, they don't have any experience with the media, and they've never taught. They've never learned kids in the school. So we decided to make some supportive institution where we collected teachers who are motivated, and they try to learn how to be much better in this field. Yes, you can see some. Numbers here about like this festival. It's mostly first year. It was almost for 300 people. Now we made it just for 80 people, and it was paid. But it's actually a very important step, because we were learning people how to pay for their education. Bless you. And because we found out that we are not invest all time and money to the people who are just interested. We would like to focus just to the people who are really highly motivated, and to pay them much more attention than just to talk to them and just to tell them something. No, we would like to cooperate with them for a longer time, because it's much more effective. It's slow. It's like if you were creating snowman, but it's much more effective to have some long-term cooperation. Yes, it's good what happened now. It was that actually what we developed in the Seznam, we actually made some kind of laboratory how to train teacher in different way. And now this model is taken by government, is taken especially by Ministry of the Interior. It means like police, firemen, whatever, because Ministry of the Interior thinks that this is really important for our residents. How to actually face the disinformation, fake news, because our society is completely polarized. We cannot reach any deal in the society, and we should learn how to read medias and how to face all this information which are online. And we are focusing now this year, first year, on the Ústí region, where it's actually a neighborhood. And we decided for this region for many reasons. Firstly, this is really close. This is just one hour by train. Second thing, this is we can say about the Ústí region. This is like underprivileged neighborhood. Nobody wants to live there. Poor people, many doubts, high crimes, and all these things, all these negative things. Next thing is that there is university. So we are actually developing all these learning teachers together with the librarians, what is actually our next target group, and university. Because always, if I talk with the university, why they don't develop media education, all of them say the same. We don't have teachers. We don't have teachers from the terrain. We don't have these skilled teachers
who can pass their experience. So we decided that we will be training all these teachers that they can in the future actually teach at the university and to actually teach prospective teachers. Okay, I tried my best to squeeze it because we are delayed. So for me it's over. This is what I wanted to say. If you have any question, I will be glad to answer you. Okay, it was very short. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much. We do have your certificate here.
Fine.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, so we are waiting for other participants from their art workshop. They're coming, right? Okay. Say a few words. We followed the program pretty much. Yeah, we weren't expecting to have all the workshops and presentations in this room. It was planned in another way, but then considering the number of our participants and so many of you had to go back, they had flights, so like we thought it would be nice to have all the sessions here. So it took us slightly 2 minutes later than planned. I think it is not that bad, and we tried to stick to the program we created in the beginning. It didn't work out for all the sessions all the time, so I would like to thank you for your patience and for being here again one more time. But I'm waiting for the other participants for the last words, and then we will meet again for the Prague City Tour. But it's not all. And my words are over. I'm done with my speech. Thank you. And may I ask, how many of you would like to join our Prague City Tour? You, for example, from Prague? Mikhail? No?
Yes, I'm from Prague, but thank you so much.
Okay, all right. And yes, sure, 3, 4. Okay, nice, great, perfect. Easy, no? Why not? Yeah, we could have played the game together. Have you played the game he designed for you? Any of you here? I think all the players gone already, you know.
Yesterday played
4 people. Mm-hmm. Nice.
We have some answers about the Kafka head, about the minings, about the Prague Castle. So very nice.
Yeah, very nice, lovely. Yeah, he prepared very nice questions, and actually Phil gave us his ideas to just like enrich it a bit more. And it was just critical thinking about the themes of this conference and visiting Prague at the same time. We tried to combine both of them. But yes, you can come again to Prague anytime and you can play the game anytime. And art workshop is very interesting, so that's why they are not coming here.
Can I ask a question? Not for you, but
no,
filling a bit of time. Maybe for Mikhail, if when he has finished his email. Mikhail, I live here and I've lived here off and on for over 20 years. I've never used Cezanne as an email platform, but I know that it has many expressions and different ways. I'm just curious to know who funds Cezanne.
Firstly, I can speak in behalf of the Cezanne because I'm just working in the CSR department, but Cezanne was founded by Ivo Lukacevic, who is actually a guy from it was actually a group of the students from the Czech Technical University, and they still keep it. He's still for 100%. This is still in his for 100% ownership.
Okay, no, thank you. That's I wondered how it started, and I can understand.
Yeah, it was actually 1996.
Yeah, excellent, great. I mean, Google is great, but I'm always looking for alternatives.
But you are right, actually, young people don't use anymore. They are mostly using Google, but actually they are transforming their whole online business to other fields. And they are still making money on the advertising. But they are creating content, but Google, it's not creating content. That's as none does.
Yes, okay, great. Thank you.
So, it's my pleasure to thank Gamsen now. And I think it's not everyone will or can come to the evening for the last glass of wine. So thank you very much for your precious work. Everything what you have done, I think a lot of that we don't know. So
thank you for all the support. It cannot be done alone, and everybody already knows that, right? Thank you for all the support.
So this is actually small. I wanted to bring a tree, but they didn't have a tree in the
yeah, please.
So next time.
Next time, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming. I think we had a lot of people that changed during the 3 days and were there on Fridays and yesterday. And I hope that you will enjoy Prague today afternoon, and we will meet for the last glass of wine today at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Thank you for being here, and please come back.
Yeah, thank you.